I want to make something clear. There is no right or wrong way of believing in God. You see, I have done so much shadow work, and I have delved into and dived deeply into my own soul and psychology, and have pretty much and practically tried out every possible way of how I can offend God, to see if it would kill me. And obviously it hasn't, and it won't. But in that practice and exercise, by allowing yourself to go mentally and psychologically to the extremes, to every potential point of offending God, when you are there, when you are in that depth, you will receive clear and immediate resonance of soul. You will receive feedback, soul feedback, to all the forbidden questions, and it puts it into a conscious context, a context of consciousness. And each time it's affirmed in the negative, meaning that God is not offended. And eventually I learned that God is unoffendable, and that we don't have to be fearful of treating God the wrong way, or saying the wrong things, or thinking and feeling the wrong things. It's impossible to offend God. What this whole drama called life is really about is everything is played out psychologically. Everything is determined by our mental health, by our psychological health, by the beliefs that were created through trauma. Everything that's going on in the realm of that complex consciousness is what creates our world view, our God view, and the view about ourselves. And eventually you will realize that there are no lines in between separating these aspects in us and separating our consciousness from that which we call God. It is all one. And so I say, you can't be wrong in how you believe about God. There is no right or wrong, but it will affect you how you will perform in this life. For instance, if you take the role and identity and the belief that you are small and weak and helpless and flawed, and that you need God or a greater power to sustain you, is going to hold you back in life. It will always make you live on from a weak, disempowered psychological state. And you will always live low at the mercy of someone greater than yourself. And that sets us up to become a victim to circumstances and people and events in life. And that's the crushing that has the crushing effect on us and brings us down to the ground because of this dependence on someone else to rescue and sustain us. That will work, but it will show up as a life experience that is very hard. You're always just barely surviving. It's a psychological phenomenon. On the other hand, if you believe yourself to be one with God as God, that you actually are the source, the great big G God, and that you are an essence of that manifesting as your human avatar. But psychologically, you do not have that separation, that God is distant from you and other from you. If psychologically you assimilate this oneness, you will show up in life never defeated, never the victim, and things will not hold you perpetually down, while because you do not have to wait, psychologically wait puts distance between you and God. You don't have to wait for God to rescue you. Psychologically, that is empowering, and it makes such a difference of how we show up in life and how life affects us. It can never get you down for very long. For a brief moment, you will experience the shock and the grief. But then when you remember that there is no distance between you and God, that you are God, you are very God, having this experience in the human avatar, is so empowering for the soul, for the psyche, that you're going to show up in life strong, and unshakable, right? So everything is generated from our psyche or our soul. The world around us shapes itself based on how we believe in here. That's the creative principle that we call God, or being made in the image of God. We replicate the creation process through our thoughts and our mind and our words. So you can believe that life has to be difficult, and most of us came into the world with that software, with that programming, that life has to be hard, life has to be difficult, and so it is. But I'm challenging you. I want to propose to you, adopt a change in your thinking. Just try it for a while and rewrite the program and say, life is easy. Life is easy and everything always works out for me. Just try that and see if your reality in life isn't going to change and life becomes easy. Life's challenges become easy because you believe that life is easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be crushing. Check your programming. Check your source, the source of creation, which is your mind. Check what it is that you believe, because as you believe, so it becomes. Right? So I hope this makes sense. It helps somebody today. Maybe you just need to change your belief. The way the program was written. Just rewrite it. Rewrite it and see if it'll make a difference.